So, hey guys, we're going to start the year off though. This is a series, Bible studies series we're doing for about 3 weeks. Okay, it's literally called Fake. Anybody know fake people?
Yes.
Okay, raise your hand. Okay, anybody point at them? No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't point your fingers out. You
got
3 point back.
What?
So you got 3 point back. When you point at someone.
Alright, hey, here's what we're going to talk about though, okay? Hey, the lesson I'm going to talk about tonight, I want you to pay attention, okay? Because I feel like the lesson tonight is very important, okay? Because here's what I want to point out, okay? There are 4 chairs up here. You are one of these 4 chairs, okay? Okay, here's where I start off, okay? We're going to read a passage out of 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 5. So here we go, alright? Boom. Oh, see guys, touchscreen, what's up? Alright, you guys gotta listen up now, okay? You gotta listen up, alright? So this is written by a guy named Paul. Paul was a Christian. He was a follower of Jesus. Paul went and started a bunch of churches. Paul's essentially a pastor and a missionary of sorts, okay? So Paul has a student named Timothy. He's a younger pastor, and he's writing back to him and he says this. He says to Timothy, he said, you should know this, Timothy, that in the last days, okay, the last days before Jesus comes back, there will be difficult times. For people will love only themselves and their money. They will be boastful and proud, scoffing at God, disobedient to their parents. Anybody in the room? And ungrateful. Okay, anybody else? No? Okay, just me? Okay. All right. Now, they will consider nothing sacred. Okay? They will be unloving, unforgiving. They will slander others and say lies about others. Okay, gossips. All right? They will have no self-control. They will be cruel and hate what is good. All right, touch the screen. Here we go. It's a long flick. There we go. All right. They will betray their friends, be reckless, be puffed up with pride, and love pleasure rather than God. They will act religious. They will act religious, but they will reject the power that can make them godly. Stay away from people like that. So Paul's talking. He's to write to Timothy. He says, "Hey Timothy, all right. There are going to be these people. There are going to be these people at some point that do this. They act religious." Okay? They act like Christians, but they reject the power that makes them godly. These are the things they do. They betray friends, be reckless, be puffed up with pride, love pleasure. Go to Joe, go back to the next one. Right. Pull back. Pull back. There we go. Alright, there we go. Boastful, proud, scoffing at God, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, they're considering nothing sacred, be unloving, unforgiving, slander others, have no self-control. Okay? They'll be cruel and hate what is good. He says there are going to be people who act like Christians, but don't really live it out. Since there are going to be fake people that you need to stay away from, Timothy. And you need to stay away from them because it's going to hurt you. Okay? Now, I got 4 chairs here, man. Alright? So here's what we're going to talk about. You are one of these 4 chairs, and we're going to talk about all these chairs. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Okay? This is chair number 1. This is chair number 2. And chair number 3, and chair number 4. What chair is this?
2, 4.
What chair is this?
1.
What chair is this?
3, 4.
What chair is this?
1.
Chair is this?
2.
Chair is this?
3.
Chair is that?
1.
Hey, good deal. Alright, good deal. So, guys, here's what I'm going to tell you, okay? Here's what I want you to know. By the end of the night, I hope that you all can say that you want to be in chair 1. Okay? Let's just keep that in mind. We're going to talk about all these chairs, okay? So, chair number 1, here's what I'll tell you about chair number 1. Chair number 1, this is a person who's following Jesus. Okay? This is a person who is a Christian. Okay? This person is not perfect. This person makes mistakes. But this person really asks questions about Jesus. This person is devoted and they're saying Jesus is important to me and he's important to my life. Okay? Okay? And basically, to sum this person's life up, this person's life demands an explanation. Alright? If you are here and you're saying you're a Christian, there's a simple thing about your life that you need to understand. Okay? Once you've accepted Jesus, you are different than the rest of the world. Okay? You are different than the person who hasn't accepted Jesus. Because you're giving your life to God to do something that the world doesn't care about. Okay? That passage that Paul was writing to Timothy, okay? He says there's going to be people who love money, who slander and lie and gossip, okay? Anybody know people like that? Right? You guys know people like that? Okay, now, do we like people like that? No, we don't like people like that. We don't like fake people. We want real, authentic people in our lives. We want real, authentic friends in our lives. We want real, authentic relationships in our lives, okay? So, here's what we need to understand. Chair number 1, this is a real Christian. Okay, this is a real believer. Somebody who's not perfect, but who's really trying to follow Jesus every day. Okay? Their life demands an explanation. Their life is supposed to be different than that of the people in the classroom that don't follow Jesus. Okay? This person is supposed to be forgiving. This person, Joe, just go back to that passage real quick. Okay, we'll just start off, all right? This person, okay, they'll love more than just money. Love more than just themselves. They're going to care about other people. All right? Okay? They're not just going to be boastful and proud. All right? This person's not, you know that really arrogant person that you don't like? Yeah, I know, because I don't like them either. All right? I'm not pointing to somebody in the room. I'm just saying, we've all got people in our lives like that. Okay? Christians aren't supposed to be like that. All right? Disobedient to their parents. Hold up, Christian. Okay? You're supposed to be obedient to your parents. All right? You're supposed to be different than that person who's wild now, who's just disobeying their parents. Right? Ungrateful. Christians are supposed to be so thankful to Jesus. Okay, just for what he's done. Okay? Because here's the thing: if Jesus didn't come to this earth to die for you, you and I don't have access to heaven. All right? We don't have access to eternal life. All right? They'll consider nothing sacred. We think worship, like what Joe just led us in, and what we just did, worship, like that is a sacred thing. That's a special thing that you and I get to do as followers of Jesus. Okay? Well, we get to give our breath and our praise back to God. All right? That's something different. All right? Christians are loving, we're forgiving. Okay? We don't slander and make up, joke about others. All right? Nobody likes that. Nobody likes that. Don't be that person. Okay? And have self-control. I'll just cut it right there. Okay? Chair number 1, this person's life demands an explanation. Alright? Now, this person also, what I want you to understand, okay? Because some of you guys are Christians in this room. Some of you guys might not consider yourselves Christians. Some of you guys might just be on the fence, not know what to exactly to do with this Jesus thing. Okay, this person is probably going to face some troubles in life because they follow Jesus. This person is probably going to face persecution. Actually, in fact, I know this person is going to face persecution. Because Paul writes in 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 12, he says, real Christians will suffer persecution. Alright? Joe, I don't think I have a scripture for that, do I? Okay. So he says, real Christians will suffer persecution. Alright? And they're going to lose things because they chose to follow Jesus. But they're going to get back so much more because they chose Jesus over the rest of the world. Alright? Let's move on to chair number 2. Alright? Chair number 2. Okay? This person. What did I write? Goodness gracious. Can't read this stuff. Alright. This person, we'll call them the interested Christian. Okay? The interested Christian. Alright? This person, they were interested in Jesus at one point, right? Maybe they went to church camp, maybe they went to conference, maybe they came to a youth group one time, and they were like, yeah! Jesus! Right? I went to camp with 100 of these people. More than that. Okay? That these people were at one point in their life, they were on fire for Jesus. They were all about youth group for about a month. You know, they were so excited. They're like, I'm giving my life to Jesus. I'm not going back. I'm not going back. All right? Okay? That person. This is chair number 2. This is the interested Christian. At some point in their life, they were so excited about Jesus. All right? And they go back and forth. And sometimes they care about Jesus. And sometimes they're like, I just really like to just hang out with my friends and like party on the weekends. I just really like to look at websites on the internet that I shouldn't. I just really like to say words that I shouldn't. I really like to do stuff that I know Jesus doesn't want me to do. And this person kind of goes back and forth. And some weeks they're on fire for Jesus. Some weeks they're just like they're the wild kid in the office, right? This person's back and forth. This person's a simple word, okay? It's called lukewarm. Right? This person's back and forth, wishy-washy with their faith. They kind of love Jesus, but they kind of love the stuff that they get to do that's sin. They kind of love the stuff they do that pulls them away from Jesus. All right? And here's what I can tell you. This chair, this person that's really, really following Jesus, they're going to make it to heaven. This chair, I don't know. Because here's what I mean, and I can't tell you for sure, who's going to make it to heaven like at this point. But this person, who's kind of wishy-washy with Jesus, I don't know what's going to happen when they stand before Jesus and have to answer with what they did with their lives. Okay? Chair number 2. And this chair also, side note, this person, looks at this person and says, well, they're just a radical Christian. They're just a crazy Jesus freak. They're radical. They say, I'm a normal Christian. It's fine. All right? Because they say that so they can do the stuff that they want and still try and represent Team Jesus. And this person's actually on Team Jesus. Right? So, that's chair number 2. Now, let's see, chair number 3, all right? This person. Okay, there you go. All right, chair number 3. This person is not a Christian, okay? This person is familiar with Christianity. They know about Christianity. They've heard about Jesus, but this person is not a Christian. They've never had their Jesus moment. They've never had this point in their life where they're like, that's it, I'm giving it all to Jesus. Like, they've never had that moment. That person is not a Christian, okay? Now, I'll tell you this, though. This person, you see him on Facebook. No, maybe not Facebook, because you guys are on Facebook, right?
Facebook is for
Whoa! All right, Facebook's for old people. Fine. Fine. All right, you see this person on Instagram sometimes, or maybe on Snapchat, and when something bad happens, here's what they do. They have a post that they put up, prayers up, or maybe something bad happens in the school, and this person's never said a lick about Jesus in their life, but they're saying, such and such, heaven just got an angel, okay? God forbid something bad like that happened. But this person said, this person's that kind of person, right? They don't care about what Jesus says for their life, but they know things about Christianity, okay? And they've never accepted Jesus, all right? Now, side note, question, thought about this, all right? Chair number 2 and chair number 3, these people probably go to the same parties. Alright? Because chair number 2 is really wishy-washy with their faith, and sometimes they're on Team Jesus, sometimes they're out just at the parties. With chair number 3, just out with their friends. And chair number 2 and 3, they probably end up at the same parties sometimes. Alright? The difference between chair number 2 and chair number 3 is chair number 2 has had a relationship with Jesus at some point. Okay? Their kids in your school, at some point they've had a relationship with Jesus. Chair number 3 is the kids in your school who've never had a relationship with Jesus. They've never had a moment where they realized how much Jesus Christ loves them. And they've never given their lives to Him. Chair number 3 is not a Christian. But chair number 3 does not make it in heaven. Right, chair number 4. Let's look at the chair number 4. Okay? Chair number 4 is an interesting one. Because chair number 4 is not a Christian. But chair number 4 is someone who asks questions. And they know there's something more to life. Okay? This person has thought about their life and they start asking big questions, right? They wonder about Jesus. They ask questions, they wonder why the people in chair number 1, why their lives are different. They wonder about the love that that their church friends talk about. Okay? But the thing is, there's a problem with chair number 4. And it's not their problem, really. People in chair number 4 sit and look at chair number 2 and 3. And they see kind of the same person. Whereas chair number 2, they've had a moment with Jesus. Chair number 3, they've never had a moment with Jesus. But chair number 4 people, they look at it and they see the people in chairs 2 and 3. And they see, well, they go to the same parties. They do the same stuff. They post the same dirty Instagram stories. All right? They keep doing the same wild out things. And they think, well, chair number 2 and 3 are the same people. All right? And they think, well, if chair number 2 people are Christians, and they can still do the things that chair number 3 people do, why would I be a Christian? They think, why would I choose to follow Jesus if I can still do those things that chair number 2 people do? And chair number 4 people won't get to become chair number 1 people because of chairs 2 and 3. Alright? Because they'll look at chairs 2 and 3 and consider, should I accept Jesus? Should I start asking more of those questions? Should I start going to church? Should I start looking at that? And they won't do it because of the people in these 2 chairs. Alright? Now, your chair number 4 doesn't make it to become a chair number 1 person. They don't make it into heaven. Alright? I'll be honest, I don't know about chair number 2 people. They might make it into heaven. I don't know. Okay, but here's what I know. I know people that sit in this chair. People that live their lives like this. People whose lives demand explanation. People whose lives are actually following and chasing after Jesus. These people make it into heaven when they leave this place. Okay? Now, here's why I'm going to tell you why I feel like this is important. And why I want every single one of you guys to be chair number 1 people. Because at one point, I was a chair number 2 person. I grew up in church my whole life, and I knew about Jesus, and I had heard all the things about Jesus, but I was back and forth. I went to camp and I was all about Jesus, and I was over here, and then I went back home and I was over here, and my life was wishy-washy. And the reality was, if I would have kept on with that, I know that I never would have become a chair one person, and I wouldn't have a place in heaven with Jesus one day. And that kills me. And some of you guys don't know how I met Jesus. Well, one summer, it was between my freshman and sophomore years of high school, and I was at a church camp. Right now, I wasn't a camper at this church camp. I was a counselor. I definitely should not have been a counselor at church camp. That was a mistake. Whoever put me through that process missed some steps. Because I wasn't really following Jesus. I just knew how to pretend. I knew how to pretend to follow Jesus. I could say the right things. I could be respectful in church. And I tell you what, back in the day, Christian t-shirts were the thing, all right? And not the cool student group shirts that you guys get, all right? Here's the thing, I remember that night. It was a Tuesday night. I was at camp. I was a counselor. I was sitting on the front row with my little campers, sitting beside me. And I'm wearing a shirt, and it was so tacky, and I will never be this tacky ever again. And it has a guitar pick on it, and it says, "Pick Jesus." I know, guys. I got way more style than that. It's all good. But the thing is, I was wearing that shirt. I remember the preacher that night. I'm actually friends with him now. He's a guy from Henderson, Kentucky. And he's preaching. He's like, if you want to make it to heaven, if you want to know love, Jesus' love like you've never known before, here's what you got to do. You got to do what this young man's shirt says, and you got to pick Jesus. And I was like, oh, crap. It's like, shoot. He's preaching. He's not preaching to his kids. He's preaching to me. And I remember, I didn't go up to the altar when they, up front at the stage. Some of you guys are unfamiliar with what that means. They call it, if you want to accept Jesus, sometimes in church service, they ask you to go down front and they pray with you and accept Jesus. I didn't do that. I didn't go up there. I went back to our boys' dorm, just this little crappy cinder block building with a bunch of ghetto books. Crazy. And I went down there, I sat on this futon, and I just started losing it. And I was like, dang. If they only knew the stuff that I do when I'm not a king. If they only knew that I actually wasn't, I wasn't a chair one person, I actually wasn't a real Christian, that I'm back and forth, that I'm a chair two person. Shoot, sometimes I feel like I'm a chair three person. And I was like, man, if they only knew that. And then I thought about, man, Jesus knows that. Jesus knows how much of a mess up I am. And Jesus still stinking loves me more than I'll ever know. And Jesus still came and gave up his life for me, so that I could become a chair one person and make it to heaven with him one day. And that was so good. And I just sat there and I'll fess up, I just bawled like a freaking baby. I just cried my eyes out, and I just sat there. And then another counselor came in, and he sat there and he's like, dude, I'm in the same place. I'm messing up too. And we just sat there, and then some older counselors, some youth pastors I know came in. One of my youth pastors named Cody, big dude, this tall, this big, all right? He's the Incredible Hulk, except he's white. Just saying, the Incredible Hulk's green, just saying. So he just comes in, big dude, just prays with us, and I accepted Jesus that night. And boom, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not a super mystical, magical person when it comes to Jesus. I believe in the power of Jesus. I believe Jesus is a big God. He does miracles. But that doesn't manifest, that doesn't show up in everyday things, right? I'm not going to levitate every week at youth group, just this week. Maybe not, right? But the thing is, I just felt I felt Jesus on that Tuesday night in the middle of Pike County, Indiana, never before. It was insane to me just how real Jesus felt in that moment, and how I felt. And in that moment, I went from a chair two person to a chair one person. Now, when I became a chair one person, did that mean I stopped making mistakes? No, I still messed up. But my life was Jesus's. Right? And I'll tell you another comforting thing about that moment in that dorm on that futon, is the fact that when I sat on that futon and that other counselor named Jeremy came in, I found out that I wasn't alone, that I wasn't the only one that was making mistakes and messing up. Okay? And here's what I tell you, okay, somebody in this room, you probably feel man, I've made mistakes. I don't know what chair I'm in. Maybe I'm a chair three person, maybe I'm a chair two person. I don't even know. And the reality is, there are other people in this room and other people that come to this group in this church, and they don't know where they're at either. And they're making mistakes too, and you're not the only one. Okay? So you don't have to feel shame. What you need to know is the fact that Jesus Christ knows that you made mistakes, and he still gave up his life so that you could make it to heaven one day and be a follower, a true follower of Jesus. Now, you guys ever written a letter? Anybody ever written a letter?
Oh,
Right? Cool. I get letters all the time. And you know what? Like, what do you always sign at the end of the letter?
sincerely.
Sincerely, right? Does anybody, you guys know what that word means? Like, do you know where that word comes from? Okay. That word comes from two words, all right? Okay? First word is sin, okay? Sin, S-I-N, okay? And then the second word is seru, C-E-R-U, okay? Sin, what does sin mean in Spanish?
Sin.
I think it means without, okay? Alright, so sin and seru, okay? Now, sincere comes from this word, and it means sin does mean without, alright? And seru means wax. Okay? Sin, seru, without wax. Now, where that comes from is when people used to make vases in pottery. Okay? Some people would, they'd sell them. Some people would make really junky, crappy vases. And they would crack when they put them in ovens, right? And so what they would do, because they were cracked, some dirt bags, right? That's what I'm going to call them. They would fill in the cracks with wax and paint over them. And they would sell junk vases and junk pottery to people covered in wax, so they wouldn't know that there were broken parts of them. All right? And they would sell them off as fake things. They would take marble ones and they'd fill them with wax and sell them off as fake vases. Okay? But what real artists would do, they would make their vase, and in it they would carve those words, sin seru, which meant without wax. It meant that the vase you were buying was authentic, that it was real, that there were no cracks in it, all right? That it was without wax. Now, what I'm telling you is this. Jesus doesn't want you to be a chair 2 or 3 person. Okay? He wants you to be a chair 1 person. He wants you to be authentic. He wants you to be sincere. He wants you to be real. Here's what he knows. He knows you're going to make mistakes. He knows you're going to have cracks. But he's going to make you a new thing. Okay? And that's what that baptism video is saying. It says that when you accept Jesus, you become something new. But the cracks that you have, Jesus comes and fixes them. Right? That Jesus wants nothing more than for you to be a real, authentic Christian than for you to be right here. Because being right here means that you're going to be with him one day. And that's exactly where I want you guys to be. There's somebody here who this year needs to say, I'm going to stop being a chair 4, 3, or 2 person. And I'm going to be a chair 1 person. And I'm going to accept Jesus this year. And I'm going to start asking questions of youth group. And I'm going to start taking steps to follow Jesus and be a real Christian. And not just look like a Christian on the outside, but be a Christian on the inside.